What's going on, guys? Ace here, bringing you a special review. This pre-workout was hyped beyond belief. People were saying that this is the next Excelsior. TJ specifically was saying that the laser sharp focus was not seen in products like this for a very, very long time. And it got people excited, and it got everybody buzzing and talking and hopped up and trying to get their hands on this product. I gotta say that I fell for the hype. As somebody who's a Stim junkie pre-workout enthusiast, I like to dabble with all kinds of products, and especially when I hear about bathtub formulas being concocted in the basement and having a special secret sauce ingredient, man, it gets me all excited. And I just had to get my hands on it. So I did something that probably in hindsight wasn't the smartest thing to do. I ordered myself 4 tubs of this product right here. This is, of course, Smash AMF. Now, 4 tubs probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. I probably should have went with 1 or 2, but I was excited. I fell for the hype, and I got myself 4 tubs. 2 of those flavors were Tiger's Blood, which is the flavor that TJ reviewed on his official review. The other 2 flavors were Citrus Punch and Blue Raspberry. Now, I of course wanted to go for the Tiger's Blood, because as you know, sometimes when these new formulations come out, these new bathtub formulas, they usually spike a couple of the batches with the secret sauce ingredient, and then the other ones don't hit as hard. So there isn't really much consistency from tub to tub. And I specifically wanted to get the Tiger's Blood because that's the batch that TJ had. So I got the 4 tubs. They came in. I was excited. And I was ready to take a scoop and take my pre-workout and my workout to the next level. What happened? Well, like an idiot, I was brave, and I went for a heaping scoop. Now, what we have in here, this label is absolutely ridiculous, and I'm not going to go over this entire label because there's no point to go over this entire label. Because if anybody knows this product, if anybody has seen either TJ's review or the Review Bros review, they go over all the ingredients in here in detail. But I'm not going to do that because this label right here is nonsense. This label is a complete joke. Some of these absolutely make no sense. There's L-theanine in here, 20 milligrams, which is just, it makes no sense. Beta-alanine at 1,500 milligrams. There's 1,000 milligrams of creatine HCl. Some of these things just don't add up. And again, when it comes to these basement formulas, you can't expect to have full transparency and expect that whatever's on the label is what's actually going to be in this tub, because chances are it's not. This brand, especially the manufacturer rather, KJ Labs, they don't even have an official Instagram page. They don't have a website, nothing. It's probably some other company that made other products in the past, and they just rebranded themselves so they can legally sell another bathtub formula, collect their money, and move on to the next product. That's my theory anyway. I could be wrong. But now I want to talk about the experience of Smash AMF. This right here is a seal tub. This is Citrus Punch. But I am actually going to talk about Tiger's Blood first, which was my very first experience. Guys, buckle up because this is going to be a very in-depth, detailed review where I'm going to go over this entire experience because I've taken this about 6 or 7 times now. So I'd like to say that I'm somewhat of an expert when it comes to Smash AMF. I've tried numerous different doses, and I've even tried combining it with other ingredients, and I'm going to get into all that right now, so stay tuned. My very first time, like I mentioned earlier, I took a heaping scoop because I felt brave. The serving size on here is 10 grams per 1 scoop, and there's 30 servings per container. So I personally, and call me crazy, I personally do not weigh my scoops. I'm not on that level. I do have a scale to weigh single ingredient stimulants. I do have my own DMAA, I have my own DMHA, Aureia gerenesis, amp citrate. I do have single ingredient stimulants that I get from various vendors, and I will be doing reviews on those in the future as well. But I use the scale strictly for those. I do not use the scale for my pre-workouts. I just know that based on how they hit, if I should do a heaping scoop, if I should do 3/4 of a scoop, it all comes with experimentation. And you can call me crazy for it, but that's just how I do it. The very first time I took a heaping scoop, because that's what TJ said. He said, you take a heaping scoop, you're going to be flying. My experience was very, very insane. There's no other way to describe it. My experience was insane. First of all, the flavor, the tiger's blood flavor, is disgusting. And I've mentioned numerous times that I don't really care about flavor. Flavor does not matter to me. I will chug it down. If it's a bad flavor, I will just chew a mint gum afterwards. I usually chew gum when I work out anyway, so it doesn't matter. But sometimes there are flavors that are really borderline disgusting, just terrible, to the point where you feel like you're gagging on that flavor. Tiger's Blood from Smash AMF is one of those flavors, so I do not recommend you ever get that flavor. But if you have it, have a piece of gum handy because you're going to need it, believe me. I took that heaping scoop. Within 15-20 minutes, I felt something. It felt different. I didn't feel an energy per se, but I kind of felt my eyes lighting up from the side, kind of burning, not in an uncomfortable sensation, but kind of tingling. Speaking of tingling, I got a lot of tingling throughout my entire body. And with the tingling, I got a lot of shakes. Once I got to the gym, I noticed my heart was pounding. I'm not just talking about slightly elevated heart rate, I'm talking full pounding, leaping out of my chest in an uncomfortable feeling. It was beyond uncomfortable. I was sweating profusely, cold sweats, my nose was running. It felt like I took 5 milligrams of Alpha Yo. It was that bad. And I usually handle Alpha Yo pretty well. Anything up till 2, even 2.5 milligrams of Alpha Yo, I can handle it. But this was on another level. The heaping scoop destroyed me. I had to take long breaks in between my sets. So the way I train circuit training because my main goals are fat loss and aesthetics. I don't train for strength. I don't train for power output. I'm not trying to break PRs. That's not how I train. I do a lot of reps, a lot of sets, and I'm at the gym for 2.5 hours every workout. So that's my main way of training. I usually do 3-4 exercises in a circuit. I take about 40-second rest, and I do it over again. I was unable to do that with Smash AMF because my heart felt like it was about to burst out of my chest. It was uncomfortable, and I couldn't do it. I absolutely could not do it. So I had to take long breaks. I had to drink a lot of water in between, and I was pacing back and forth like a lunatic. The focus was there, but at the same time, it wasn't. This doesn't make sense to me. Whatever secret ingredient they have in there, Ritalin or whatever derivative of that they have in there, did something very weird to me. I had a tunnel vision focus, but at the same time, simultaneously, I was also zoned out. It was almost like I was seeing myself in third person, and I wasn't in control of my actions. It's weird. It was a very, very weird sensation. Definitely nothing like in any other pre-workout I've ever taken. So that was my first experience. Major, major thumbs down on my first experience. The second time, about a week later, I decided to take a flat scoop. And this time I decided to accompany it with 200 milligrams of L-theanine. Now, L-theanine is there to relax you, and a lot of strong, high-stim pre-workouts such as Wildfire will actually have L-theanine in there just to kind of mask the stimulants so you don't get overwhelmed with them. It kind of mellows out the experience in a way. So I usually find that 200 milligrams of L-theanine is very good for me personally when I want to relax, when I'm trying to go to sleep. Even if I take a very, very strong pre-workout and my heart starts pounding, I will take a 200 milligram capsule of L-theanine, and it usually balances things out. So how was my experience with a flat scoop and 1 tablet of L-theanine? To be honest, it wasn't much different. I still had the crazy heart rate. I still had the cold sweats. I still had that weird focus, but not focused at the same time. Except this time it was a little bit more mellow. If Smash AMF, my first experience, was at a 15 out of 10, this was maybe at a 12 or 13 out of 10 in terms of intensity. So the intensity was still very much there, but maybe slightly less. The third time I tried it at 3/4 of a scoop with L-theanine. Again, it wasn't much better. It was better in the sense that I was able to control it more, but I feel like 3/4 with L-theanine kind of made the experience not so good, in a sense that the L-theanine masked it a little too much. L-theanine with 1 flat scoop was intense. L-theanine with 3/4 of a scoop was underwhelming. So what did I do for my 4th, 5th, and 6th time? I found that for me personally, the best dose is a flat, but I mean a flat scoop with a pump formula. Now, a pump formula, you can get all kinds of pump formulas. I personally like using Bloodsport by Apollo Nutrition because Bloodsport is unflavored. So you can add it to any product and it's not going to mess with the taste. It might mess with it a little bit, but not to the extent where you taste it. And it has nitrates in it, and in general, it's a very, very good product. You don't even need to take a full scoop. Half a scoop is more than enough. So what I like to do is I like to stack Smash AMF with half a scoop of Bloodsport by Apollo Nutrition. I feel like the added blood flow kind of helps offset the blood constriction from Smash AMF, and it's able to find a happy balance in between, where I can have a productive pre-workout with that laser sharp focus, but also my heart is not beating out my chest. I forgot to mention that the Tiger's Blood batch I tried 3 times. And the 3rd time I tried it, which the 3rd time was at 3/4 of a scoop with L-theanine, after that I gave away that batch. I couldn't handle the flavor. The flavor literally made me feel like I was going to gag. I couldn't do it. So I sent it to one of my good friends from the pre-workout supplement subreddit. Shout out to my friend Sean. He goes by Drug-Free Dan on the subreddit. Guys, join the subreddit, by the way. It's an amazing community created by the Review Bros. To this day, I think the Review Bros are the 2 best in the game when it comes to pre-workout supplement reviews. And they've created an amazing tight-knit community full of awesome people that are very knowledgeable, that you can learn a lot from. So join the subreddit, r/pre-workout supplements. And you can follow me on there. I'm Ace of Base. So after I shipped out my Tiger's Blood to my friend Sean, I decided to grab this batch right here. Well, not this batch particularly. This is a sealed batch. But I had a second citrus punch. And I decided that I'm going to go with citrus punch because that is the flavor that the Review Bros reviewed on their channel. And the way they described it, the flavor wasn't intolerable. So I gave it a go, and on my very first time, I went 1 flat scoop with no L-theanine, but I did stack the pump formula. Again, half a scoop of Bloodsport by Apollo Nutrition. The results were phenomenal. This is the experience that I was looking for. This is what I like to see when it comes to illicit pre-workouts that were most likely made in somebody's basement. That was something special. Within the first 15 minutes, I felt warmth throughout my body. And then this little background euphoria came in. And even though the day I went to the gym, it was raining, I had my music connected. I have about a 15-minute walk to the gym. I was walking with my umbrella. I got my tunes. I got my headphones plugged in. And everything just seemed brighter. Not in an exaggerated way, but everything just seemed brighter. And my mood was very positive. It felt like it's going to be a good day. Everything is going to be just right. And I had this big, goofy grin on my face as I'm walking to the gym listening to my music. It wasn't crazy over-the-top euphoria. It wasn't like taking crack from Dark Lab or taking Dark Energy or any of those other euphoric pre-workouts. It wasn't like that, but I had a mood elevation and a feeling of confidence. Like, I know what I want, and I'm going to go and I'm going to get it. I got to the gym, and I started pumping, and I did feel very thirsty. I gotta say, I felt very, very thirsty. So I was chugging my gallon water like there was no tomorrow. I was peeing a lot as well, but I'm happy to report that there was no elevated heart rate, no cold sweats. I had a little bit of a runny nose, but that's okay. That usually happens to me with Alpha Yo. I can handle it. It's not a big deal. But I was able to do my circuit training. I didn't have to take 3 to 5 minute breaks in between circuits. I felt focused. I felt motivated. I was there to accomplish a task, and I was focused. That dialed in feeling that TJ spoke about in his video, I felt it for the first time. The first 3 times I took that tiger's blood batch, it was terrible. It just felt like I was on 5 to 10 milligrams of Alpha Yo. I was shaking. I was cold and hot simultaneously. I was super focused, but also unfocused at the same time. I literally felt like I could just stare at a wall and get lost there. It was a weird feeling. I felt drugged out, but not in a good way. The citrus flavor, on the other hand, I felt absolutely amazing on. I wouldn't compare it to Excelsior. People try to make the comparisons to Excelsior. They say, oh, Smash AMF is the next Excelsior. I wouldn't go that far. Excelsior is its own thing. And if you guys haven't seen, you can check out the video review I made of Excelsior. I reviewed the 2 most recent batches. So feel free to check out that review and then come back to this video. But I've taken Smash AMF 2 more times since the 4th time taking it. So total of 6 times. And all my experiences since that time have been positive. So I'm not sure if the flavor has anything to do with it or if it's a different batch. The weird thing is that the batches, the back of the tub has the same exact batch number listed with the same spelling errors and everything. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if some flavors are just more spiked with the secret ingredient, or if I just got lucky, or maybe my body just got used to it after 3-4 times. I'm not sure what it is, but in my experience, the tiger's blood flavor is a no-go. The citrus punch flavor is the way to do it. I'm also sitting on watermelon and blue raspberry, so when I do get around to those in the coming months, I will review them as well. But as of now, Smash AMF, the citrus punch flavor specifically, is a hitter. It's a really good flavor. It gives you good focus, and with not a lot of negative side effects. If you're very, very sensitive to Alpha Yo, maybe avoid it. But if you can handle up until 2 milligrams of Alpha Yo, then I think you will be fine. Do not take this frequently. Especially do not take this daily. This is a once a week and a half type of experience. Do not overdo it. This doesn't feel like a healthy pre-workout. It's definitely spiked. There's definitely some shady ingredients in here, some exotic stimulants. So use your discretion and don't be an idiot like me and start off with a heaping scoop on your first time. Don't do it. Start off with even half a scoop to assess your tolerance. Drink a lot of water, and in my experience, pair it with a pump formula, because the nitrates in there are going to help your blood flow. Whatever constriction this pre-workout gives you, the pump formula is going to negate it. So it's going to keep things moving along. And drink a lot of water. This is an experience. This is something really different than anything else out there. And as of this recording, you can still get Smash AMF from a couple of vendors. I believe NutriCartel has it. I believe Sub Central still has 1 or 2 flavors. I'm going to link all the vendors that have it down below. So feel free to check that out. And if you guys enjoyed my video and you enjoy my content, please give me a like, subscribe to the channel, click the little bell notification to get all my latest updates. I'm trying out different things right now. I was recording from my living room earlier, but now I'm recording from my little home gym over here with Chucky, my boy Chucky. And I'm gonna experiment with this channel. I'm gonna bring you quality content, unbiased, objective reviews, and I'm gonna keep tinkering until I get it right. So bear with me. And again, guys, thank you for the support. Much love. Take care, everybody. Stay stimmed. Stay swole.